You were not made to be tame. Somewhere along the way, the modern church traded the power of a stallion for the safety of a gelding. It looks strong, it's easy to lead, but it is unable to produce anything life-giving. That is castrated Christianity. Welcome back to War Ready. I wanted to acknowledge real quickly that this video is a little late coming out. And I know that may not matter to anyone else, but it does matter to me. And those who know me personally know that I was traveling last week for a conference that I speak at for a ministry where I get the honor of serving on the executive team when I got a phone call from home about a medical emergency. I went to the airport and got home from small town North Carolina to Central California in less than 13 hours. And we'll talk about that at some point, about God's provision even through the chaos. But for now, thank you for all of the prayers and support. It truly has been overwhelming. We are doing well. We are, of course, dealing with some concerns of the unknown. But my daughter is doing very well, and we are trusting God. But for today, let me give you a little disclaimer. If you're easily offended, you might want to lean away. I'm direct because I care. I had a mentor once tell me, "You are a bull." And that's exactly how God made you. Don't let anyone rub off your rough edges. In his book, Wild at Heart, John Eldredge paints this picture well. Stallions are strong, but they're a little bit wild. Geldings are tame, and they're predictable. Most people prefer the gelding because it's safe. But the gelding has lost its ability to reproduce. And that's what's happening spiritually. Churches full of busy men who look strong, but lack the ability to give life spiritually. Banding is how geldings are made. The band literally cuts off life at the source until the life-producing organ shrivels, dies, and falls away. Spiritually speaking, that band is often shame, fear, or control. It leaves men domesticated and harmless, where they should be dangerous, but under God's control. So let's define spiritual castration. Because castration isn't just physical. It's anything that cuts a man off from his God-given potency, from conviction, from courage, and from calling. You can castrate a man without a blade. Just shame him. Manage him. Keep him quiet long enough, and you'll get the same result. A passive, sterile faith. And toxic shame? Toxic shame is the band around the soul of men. Toxic shame whispers, "You're defective. You're not enough. Don't even try." It shows up as anger. You lash out at your wife and your kids because you haven't faced your own woundedness. It shows up as pride, defensive, always proving yourself because deep down you're convinced that you're broken and you can never be enough. This is the shame cycle. Hurt, anger, isolation, more shame. Hurt, anger, isolation, more shame. This cycle emasculates men and it destroys families. No one can hold you in shame without your agreement. No one can hold you in shame without your agreement. You are responsible for your response. But this root, it goes all the way back to the beginning. Adam's passivity. Genesis chapter 3 verse 6 says that Adam was with Eve. He was with Imad. He was with her while the serpent lied. Shoulder to shoulder, silent, saying nothing, doing nothing, and as a result, being nothing, being of no consequence. That is until Adam blames God and Eve. He said, "It was the woman that you gave me. She is the problem. And because you gave her to me, you're the problem. I'm not the problem." He was very defensive. And that's the original picture of castrated masculinity. Silence, where God was demanding headship. Listen, headship is not about domination. Headship really is sacrificial leadership. But when men abdicate, the enemy fills the vacuum. Adam's failure still echoes through generations. Passive, compliant men who do nothing while their homes are being attacked. And we see it through these symptoms in men today. Tough at work, tame at home. Loud online, but quiet when it matters. Devoted to their hobbies, but detached from their children. Busy in church programs, but barren in disciple making. Castrated Christianity sends the bill to your family. Your sons learn how to fight or fold by watching you. Your daughters learn what to accept by how you treat their mother. To heal from spiritual castration, number one, we have to renounce passivity. We have to decide to act like men. 1 Corinthians 16:13, be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, and be strong. And let everything you do be done in love. Number two, we have to reclaim headship. We have to reclaim headship, and we have to do it right. Steel and velvet. We lead with love and with conviction. The third thing we have to do is we have to drag shame into the light. You have to name your wounds. You have to name your wounds. You have to forgive. And you have to cut the ties that hold you to the shame. Ephesians 5:1 tells us that anything that is brought into the light is revealed and can be healed. So you have to drag that into the light. The fourth thing we have to do is we have to recover sonship. Galatians chapter 4 tells us that we are no longer slaves, but we are sons, heirs to the kingdom and co-heirs with Christ. You're not a slave, you're a son. And being a son gives you authority in the kingdom. The fifth thing you have to do is you have to find brotherhood. You need other men who won't let you stay tame. The reality of it is, lone wolves die. Wolves run in packs for a reason. I recently accidentally found myself isolated. And I know that sounds funny, but I had fallen into an accidental isolation. I'm very connected digitally, very connected online, but because of what I do, coaching and mentoring men and doing podcasts and YouTube and working with 2 digital men's ministries, I was spending a lot of time in this office, a lot of time, an unreasonable amount of time alone in this room. And it was only last weekend that I realized that. And so I made a conscious decision last Saturday that I was going to stop the accidental isolation. And I have been proactive about getting out and being in public and being around other men that I know would support me. And in fact, I made 3 or 4 opportunities this week to join other men in brotherhood, in face-to-face brotherhood. Isolation is a killer. And I don't care how strong you are, isolation is a killer. You have to find brotherhood, and digital is okay, but you have to find men that you can sit across the table from and who can read your body language and who know the truths that you aren't telling. The sixth thing you have to do is you have to train like it's a war, because it is. It is a war. We are in a battle. You have to discipline your mind. You have to discipline your habits. And you have to discipline your heart. Warriors are not forged for recliners. We are forged for battle because we're called to battle. So I want you to ask yourself, what have I lost because I have been spiritually banded? What gift has God given me that I have allowed shame to take away? And where have I allowed shame and passivity to cut me off from the man that God made me to be, the man that God built me to be, the man that the world and my family are waiting for me to become? Listen, don't just nod along. Take action. Talk to another man. Confess your wound. Make a change. Reclaim your potency. This is castrated Christianity. The man who remains silent, hides in his brokenness. But in the next video, we're going to talk about some of the systems that keep men tame and how to break free. Because war ready isn't just a slogan. It is your assignment. So go be different. Go be war ready.